We must defeat tomorrow. You are listening to Life
House
House
Podcast. What is going on to all the listeners out there, man? I hope y'all are having a good day today, man. Just hope everything's going swell. We are here for another episode. This is Sir Gates checking in, and we have our first returning guest, man.
Yeah.
This is well overdue, man. He got some exclusive content that my boy's about to release. Cheeba, what is going on with you, brother?
How you feeling, my brother?
Good, man. Good, man. So what's going on? What's been going on lately, man, since the last time we linked up?
Honestly, since the last time, man, everything's been on the up and up.
Yes, sir.
You know, so 2019, last time I was here, we talked about esports. We talked about the gaming industry as a whole, the future of it, what it was. And just to refresh everybody, for those that don't know, with esports is basically the business of competitive gaming. From Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, Overwatch, any type of game that requires skill, any type of game that requires multiplayer, team-based gaming, anything like that. And for a lot of people that don't know, it's $1 billion industry.
Billion. I just seen, what's his name? It was last year. Is it Booga? The dude who just won that $3 million. He's 17 from the Fortnite.
Oh my God.
Fortnite World Cup Championship. Playing Fortnite, just won $3 million at 17 years old. Shouts out to him.
Yeah, Fortnite is literally taking over the world, and shout out to Epic Games. But Fortnite has probably in everybody, any type of parent, any type of hell, I can even say college student, high school student,
be on Fortnite.
Everybody be on Fortnite.
I tried
it. NBA players, celebrities, anybody.
Yeah, and I just seen I don't know if it was the first one, don't quote me, but they just launched the Call of Duty League.
Yep,
man, and that's dope. I'm a fan of Call of Duty myself, dibbling and dabbing that a little bit. For
sure. And again, and for parents out there, we're trying to change the whole stigma that gaming is for losers and people that, don't have anything else to do, people that just like to sit on the couch, anything like that. It really is a lucrative thing, you know what I mean? And gaming teaches hand-eye coordination, it teaches vocabulary, it teaches, teamwork. There's so many other positive things that we could say about gaming as opposed to the negative stigma. And people in esports like me, like myself, we really want to change that.
You're going crazy, bro. I've been seeing it, man. You're going crazy.
I've been trying, man. I've been trying.
Yeah, man. So since the last time you came, what have you, the development of your personal gaming, how has that been like? Like, what's changed since then? As far as the processing and what you've gotten done and those type of things.
Honestly, everything's gotten a lot more organized. Like before, it was one of those things where everything was super sporadic. I didn't have a clear vision of everything I wanted. Like, I knew I wanted any and everybody that I've ever seen on TV, wanted to play with, had action figures, played video games, anything like that. I wanted to put in a game. I knew I wanted to put it in a game, but I didn't have a clear vision of how to go about it, how to do everything the proper way. Roll up to 2020. The game is now 100, I think 20 characters in.
Yeah.
Got multiple stages. I've got multiplayer. I've got pretty much anything you want. You know what I mean? And that brings me to my next exclusive.
Let's do it, man.
I told everybody that, whenever I wanted to drop something, I had to come here first.
Hey, and I appreciate you, my dog.
So I've always been a fan of Harry Potter, for sure. You know what I mean? And I think I could probably speak for you on this.
I like the Harry Potter old franchise.
Right.
I fell off heavy though, I know that much, but
so that brings me back. So a lot of people probably fell off heavy because, all right, well, we stopped at 6 or 7, however many books it was.
Age thing is definitely plays a factor.
But we were kids, you know what I mean? But we can all say, at least through elementary, middle school, those are probably the first couple of books we actually sat down and read through and through.
See, that's one thing I could never read a full Harry Potter book. Them things,
oh my God,
yeah, bro, never. If the movies, count me in. The games, count me in
for sure.
First few chapters of the book, count me in. But after that, clock that.
Okay, but you know it.
Yeah, I know the gist of it. Yeah.
And that's my point. So the fact that it stopped. Me, I hated it because it's like me. I always wanted more. I always want more. I always want more. It was just like Game of Thrones. It ended. I want more. Power ended like last year. I wanted more. But Harry Potter was one of those things where it was like, oh well, we're never gonna get it back. Then when Fantastic Beasts came out, I liked it, but it wasn't Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying?
Harry Potter is that's a big franchise.
It is
in that realm of books, game, movie type thing. That's a big one.
It is. So what I wanted to do was incorporate my love of virtual reality. So what I am trying to do now is incorporate a RPG. For those that don't know, that's a role-playing game. That's like where how do I describe it?
Yeah, because I know plenty of people, even I'm kind of like, wait.
Yeah, okay, RPG would be like, let's say like Grand Theft Auto or, some people would know a game called The Witcher or Dragon Age or.
So is it based like more of like a open world type?
Open world,
thing?
Okay, that's a better term for it. It's an open world based
freelance
where you have free roam, you have the ability to do whatever you want. You're gonna have the ability to create your own wizard, get sorted into your own house. But I want to take you into the world as opposed to just playing the video game. So that means creating the whole world of Harry Potter. And what I really want to do is, incorporate Hogwarts into it as opposed to Harry Potter himself.
Oh, just that like I said, that world of Harry Potter, but not all the necessary characters, but just that whole little vision and the feel and that magical thing in it.
Yeah, so the story is going to be based around a young witch. She's going to be African American.
Hey.
Because I do feel like, not to throw a race card in there, but we need more diversity.
Yeah, people need to see more of themselves to make them also believe that I can do this type thing. So even though it's a witch, and of course that's not what you consider real, but still just seeing that gives somebody the motivation to say, hey, this is a black character in a video game. Exactly. I want to make gaming. Let me try to just focus my gaming around that as well.
Exactly. And if you thought about Hermione, she held Harry and Ron together. Yeah, Hermione. She held them together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She was like the smartest witch of her age. You know what I mean? And I really, that used to stick with me all the time. It was like, okay, well, if Hermione's not there, what are they really going to do? Where would they be? So, it's going to be based around the young witch. She's going to be African American, and it's really going to dive into Ravenclaw as opposed to, Harry Potter was basically around Gryffindor. And Ravenclaw,
Gryffindor.
Right, and most students in Ravenclaw were super smart, super witty, like the brightest wizards of their time.
I like that.
I really wanted to incorporate, brains into it. And I really think that this project will seriously be the greatest thing I've done.
Hey.
Seriously.
Well, for now, so I know you're going to come out with something 10 times harder.
Oh, I'm trying.
Yeah,
all
I
the time.
know it.
All the time. And I don't know a lot of people my age or, hell, even black that are even trying to do games or even in this industry. And I'm really hoping to change that because it's a $1 billion industry. I don't know how many more times to say it.
$1 billion industry.
And it's something that you can have fun with. It's something that is open to everyone. You don't have to be 7 foot tall to use a computer or play games.
But creativity.
Yeah, man. Like. It literally goes as far as your brain pushes yourself. That's literally
dope.
it.
So have you started actually the production of it yet?
For sure. I really want to pick people's brain. Like, I really want to pick people's brain and figure out, what they want and why they don't think that gaming isn't the future. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, technology is the future. Period.
Oh yeah, man. Technology is the way technology is going right now. It's at a fast pace to where I don't think it's stopping no time soon. It's always going to keep advancing. It's going to open up many, many, many more doors in gaming industry. Pretty much whatever industry you're in. Without technology nowadays, a lot of stuff doesn't work anymore. All the old ways to do it is becoming obsolete.
Yep.
So diving into the technological field is a good idea, no matter what you're doing, because you're gonna need it.
It's true.
Whatever you're doing.
But and another thing you really have to think about is, and I'll just speak for Atlanta in general. Just growing up, I lived in Stone Mountain, so I lived on the east side, but I always went to Dunwoody. You know what I mean? Peachtree, Vandal, and Dunwoody, and that was on the northern side of town. So I always saw the differences between the two. And while I was at Dunwoody, we had mass comm programs, we had STEM programs, we had all of that stuff, and we had access to it. Whereas if I would come home and I would ask my friends about it, they're like, well, what's that? What's that? I mean, I got my Xbox, but we're not doing them with you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not doing them with computers and stuff. So it's just like, well, dang. Fast forward to now, it's still the same thing. They hear esports, they know it's $1 billion industry, yet they don't know how to get access to it because those minorities don't have a figure to point to. They don't have a figure to point to, and they don't know who to go
That's
to.
real.
You know what I'm saying? So you got these people. I'll just take my Instagram. You got people DMing me all the time. Well, bro, how'd you get started? Or who do you talk to? Or what do you do? And it's just like, I literally had to grind my behind off because it's like I didn't know who to go to.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
A lot of people not an open book like that.
They're not. And, I use LinkedIn for sure. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah.
one thing I can say, the gaming industry has taken me in wholeheartedly with the quickness. And they didn't discriminate. They didn't care about tattoos. They didn't care about color. They didn't care about anything.
In that, well, you got different rules and regulations to anything, but I would hope in that industry that there would be a lot open to
Easy, straight up.
Yeah, because it seems like it's nothing but fun. Like besides the technical issues and the work and the creating things, outside of that is playing video games. So how harsh can you be in the game industry? Honestly, but the business part, I get that, but
it's really and even the business side is fun because you remember most of these people. You have investors, but most of the owners, and those are the people that were little kids, still up playing video games. They were middle aged, still up playing video games. We're still all kids at heart, and that's one thing I've said. From anybody in the industry I've talked to, from old to young, they all have that same mentality. It all comes back to fun. It's like when you talk to an NBA player, why do they play ball? No, bro, ball is life.
Yeah.
Gaming is life. That's what brings you joy. That's what you know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And plenty of us feel that, but then you grow up being told, cut the game off. Now, I'll be honest now. I have a niece, on my in-law side, named Kyla. Super smart, super bright, like one of the smartest kids I've ever met, and she's in middle school now, and she's constantly on the game. Now, me, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But then I would always just hear, everybody saying, "Get up! She got to get off the game. She got to get off the game." And I'm just like, but in reality, there are things that she's doing, like she'll play Minecraft and she'll do certain stuff like that. But they don't know. It's teaching her blueprints. It's teaching her how to build. It's teaching her how to look at certain stuff in a certain way.
Really.
And that's that stigma.
That's just like when people have kids and they want them to be in sports or they want them to do this or that. They put them in it at a young age. But it just so happened that video games seem so passive. You put yourselves in it at a young age, but I guess it's the generational gap from there, seeing that playing games is oh, you wasting your time looking at
Yep.
stupid box and all this and that. But you could be grooming a kid to just like, I think it's like I said, I don't know if his name was Booga or whatnot, to be in a tournament to win $3 million at 17 years old without going to the league, hurting their knees, hurting their back, going to the NFL, getting busted up, dealing with CTE and all that
It's
stuff.
true.
But hey, I can sit down comfortably in a nice ergonomic chair or something and get these
And just
M's.
chill, play some games, you know what I mean? Network, have some fun. You know what I mean? But again, it's competition, it's fun. It's not one of those things you go into where, all right, I know this person's gonna win every single time. It's not fun to watch. There's a billion people on Earth. It's $1 billion industry. There's a billion people watching. There's like a 1 in a billion chance of somebody winning. It can always change, but it depends on your brain. It doesn't depend on how big you are, how small you are, how fast you are. It depends on how much dedication you have.
Right, man.
Do you wake up every day and do you live this? Are you just one of those people that
eat
just
it,
talk?
breathe it.
That's just what it is, and that's anybody that wants to be great. You know it as well as I
Man,
do.
you gotta, when you trying to do something, if you're not going 100%, I mean,
100% is minimum.
yeah, I was gonna say you could just say you sometimes you can give it 90 because you do have life issues and all this and
Everybody
that
has
stuff
them.
going
Everybody
on,
has
but
them.
you
It's
have
true.
to put everything you have into that desire, into that dream, into that goal that you're trying to chase. Because if not, you got somebody else either next to you, across the states, across the world, who locked in like, hey, this what I want. They can take your spot. Even it's room for everybody now, but you can't complain if you're not getting to where you want to go in life, and you sitting here half-assing what you're doing. Like if you talk about it, you got to be about it, and you got to execute.
Straight up. And I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. They were like, "Well, why don't you sleep? You're always up. You're always up. You got to get sleep." Okay, well, I go to sleep now. LA, they up.
Yeah.
You feel me? Across the world, they up.
Yeah.
New York, they up. So, okay, while I'm sleeping, I guarantee you they're going hard.
Yeah.
They're going
Think
hard.
about
So
it.
I'm
That's
getting
true.
left. I'm getting left. What is sleep?
Yeah. As long as you like you say, like with me, give me a good. If I can get, if I say
I'll
a
nap.
maximum hours of sleep, give me 6 hours.
Yeah,
if
and
I
I'll
wanna
nap throughout the day.
8, yeah, man. See, I cannot nap.
I be trying, bro. My body just.
I can't nap, man. But I agree. So with the game that you're producing now, do you have a official name for it, or are you gonna wait to release that as well when it comes out? It's like what all can you tell or give to the audience about what you're doing with this exclusive game you're dropping?
Right now, I started to release little snippets on my Instagram, and I was calling it Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Of course, I can't use that because it's trademarked, but of course, that's just to get the people to understand what I'm trying to do. Again, I haven't thought of a name yet, but I've definitely thought about that main character, and I definitely want to base it around Ravenclaw. I definitely want to base it around her as a generality. Definitely everyone, you know what I mean? Because you yourself are going to be able to, create your own. But
So you saying like create your own?
You're going to be able to create your own wizard, but the story will be based.
Okay, so
around,
the story mode.
yes.
You have a story mode, and then
like she would be this generation's Harry, if you will. You know what I mean?
Harry.
And you're going to be you're going to be in for the ride.
Yeah, okay. That's dope.
I definitely wanted my daughter to grow. The main reason I really wanted to create was because I really wanted my daughter to grow up with, if it wasn't going to be Harry Potter, I needed her to envision that same world, but with somebody that she could look at and be like, I can do this. As opposed to, I love Harry Potter, but I mean, you're looking at a British guy. You're not British.
Yeah,
you're in
it's
America.
Hard to relate,
right? And this looks nothing like America. So I needed to relate. You know what I mean? Because I
feel you on
I
that
want
one,
that
man.
joy for her that I had.
I seen what was it? I'm sorry. It was something on Netflix, and it was a test that they were doing to see how African American kids view themselves against Caucasian kids. I forgot the name of the test. It was some baby test. It was where they had an African American kid, and they had a black baby doll in one hand and a white baby doll in the other hand. And they'll just ask the kids certain questions to see what they'll more, connect to. And majority of the kids will connect to the white baby doll. So it was like there was an identity crisis at such a young age just because of what's in the media and what's been putting out is based majority to a Caucasian stature or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was when I seen that, I was just like, man, that's crazy. So that's why people really nowadays when you're pushing black films or like you're saying, putting black characters in video games, it's important for the identity of a kid growing up who doesn't really know the difference of which is better, but the more they see, the more they believe. So I agree. I like the fact that you're actually saying I'm gonna put the starring character or the main role as an African American kid, because one, that the people playing your games are gonna be able to identify, hey, this could be me and all those good things.
I mean, I definitely want her. I definitely want minorities. I definitely want some LGBTQ. I need everyone to be able to relate. And that's with any and everything I do, because I never knew that I was reaching people across the country. I never knew, I knew across the country, but I never knew across the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what was big to me. And at that point, it was like, okay, well, I can't put anyone in a box. I can't put anybody in a niche. I can't do it because that's not creativity to me. That's not how I imagine anything. I don't see color. I don't see race when it comes to my creativity.
Everybody should be allowed to join in on that one.
Period. And again, the game industry never pushed me away, never shunned me at all. So I can't do anything but embrace any and everything that they give me. Arms. Period.
That's good, man.
Period.
So and I don't even know if we touched it last time, but somebody new might be hearing this. So during the creation of you making these video games, like what are some of the roadblocks that you can run into? What are some of the things that'll give you that moment of saying, man, you know what? I'm done. This might not happen. I can't get this one little part right. I'm just done. So what are some of the things that the future game creators might run into, or you can tell them, hey, look out for this, but these might be some of the things that might want to make you quit, but just don't quit. So what are some of those things that you ran into?
Definitely patience. Patience is key. And of course it's so much easier said than done, and so many people say it, you hear it, so it probably goes in one ear and out the other. But when you're making that game, like I said, it took me years to create even a fraction of what I just put out last year. And it took me maybe, in all, probably about 3.5. 3.5. But again, I was self-taught. I taught myself. But
best way to do it.
A lot of the stuff I ran into is strictly because, again, I didn't have anybody to go to. I would see EA Sports. I would see Activision. I would see BioWare. I would see everything pop up when I play a game. But who do I go to and talk to about it? I'm in Atlanta. I don't have.
So do you have a mentor as far as for gaming, or is it like right now you just going at it? Right
now, it's really just me. Now I've definitely had some really, really good connections. I've had some really good connections. Stephen Shook at Axis Replay, awesome dude, awesome guy to talk about esports. Herb May, probably the greatest brain of esports I've pretty much known and heard. And a dude named Ryan Johnson. He is probably the best young guy in esports, I would say, that I've met so far.
These creators or just like professional gamers?
These are both. Okay. Both. They're all of them. All of them. But they're all in esports in some type of way. And he created his own nonprofit, basically to get esports in minority schools, minority organizations.
Schools, then that's dope to bring that inside of a school.
Yes. He's doing really big things right now. But as far as roadblocks, that would be probably my biggest because, again, I could create, I could do stuff like that, but I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to get feedback from, because if I would try to get feedback from my peers, nobody was in it. Nobody was in that industry. Nobody really knew what to look for other than, oh, this looks okay. These graphics suck. And it's like, well, bro, I'm not giving you graphics right now. I'm trying to let you test this. And they're like, well, I don't see that. I'm just like, you know what I mean?
That's not the point, man.
That's not the point. So it's again, that's who do you go to? And as far as development side, good Lord, there were too many to count. Like, you know, the first thing is figuring out what game engine you like, what game engine you gravitate to, whether you can code or not.
So when you say game engine, what specifically is that for people who don't know, including myself?
A game engine would be what a game is run off of. So if you see
something similar to like operating system of cell phones, kind of.
Okay, so if I were to boot up, say, Dragon Ball Z right now, then you would see Bandai, then you would see like Unreal, you would see like Unreal Engine or something like that. That's what you make the game off of. Like I myself would use Unreal Engine and Unity. Okay, if you've ever heard of anything like that, but that's what you have to use to create a game. Period. You can't just start coding, and just put something out. You have to use an engine in order to put the code in and for it to recognize it.
Okay, I didn't know that's what some of that stuff meant in front of the game. That's crazy.
Yep. So, you know, basically one would first go into, say, Unity or Unreal Engine. And if you know how to code, then, of course, you're pretty much halfway there. And I could go into it with coding. If you're not a coder, then you have to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to make a game without figuring out how to code?
So I see coding is a big part of this gaming thing, huh?
Coding is
like the foundation.
Yeah. See, production comes with coding, art comes with coding, regular development comes with coding, gameplay comes with coding. Hell, even audio is coded into it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's
get into this coding, man.
I mean, seriously, C#.
Elaborate.
So that's the coding language in order to make a game. You would have to study C or C#.
Is that so?
Or C+. I'm sorry, not C#, C+.
So when you say that's a specific way to code, like in like a manner you code?
Yes. So that's a specific coding language. Like there would be Java.
Language.
Yeah, there would be Java.
See, I know about the Java.
Python.
Okay.
You can code games in Python too. But it would be like Java, Python, C, C+. And then Unreal has its own scripting language called Blueprints. That's something else within itself.
Man, you know a lot. Jeez, man.
It's a lot that goes into it, bro. And again, this all just came from, okay, well, I'm playing them. I want to know how to make it.
How long you say you've been when was the first time you actually attempted to create your first game? How long has that been?
Freshman year.
Oh.
Freshman.
And how long did it take you to, well, not even say to get fluent, but to be able to be fluent enough in the foundation of